I used to ride a bike around my college campus, and I got in the worst bike accident ever.
No.
Fully just bit it in front of everybody. Was so embarrassed.
I feel like that's a part of college life.
It's so hard that first year. It's so terrifying.
It is terrifying. And my first year was really, really lonely and sad. I had taken the first semester off because I was promoting Real Women Have Curves.
Okay.
I was like not fully just in school and I wasn't fully just in my career. I just felt sort of like in between and isolated.
No.
And I was learning a lot of really hard stuff. I was studying international relations. And, you know, when they talked about the Rwandan genocide and I didn't know what the heck anybody was talking about, I was like, I don't know anything. And I'm never gonna know enough. And I'm never gonna catch up. And halfway through my first semester, I was convinced that I had to quit being an actress and that I had to decide to do something serious and real and productive and giving back in my life. And I just was so convinced that that's what I had to do. Not what I wanted to do, but what I had to do. This is my first dorm.
Party?
Party tower, not party tower.
Hold on.
Party tower.
Party tower.
I know. Trust me, it was not party tower.
It wasn't.
It was not. So here, wait, should I part this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this was where I came that first semester. And
this is amazing.
And what I was saying was that, you know, I was struggling that first semester with feeling lonely and isolated. And then what happened was my professor, his name was Professor Andrus, I went into his office sobbing, saying I'm going to quit acting and just study and focus on this and go be a lawyer or something that gives back to the world. I thought he would be thrilled. But he said, you know, I mentor this Latina girl, and I've never really been able to break through her shell. I've never really been able to earn her trust. And then one day she comes to me and says, Mr. Andrus, do you really want to understand my life? And he was like, yes. And she said, then come watch this movie with me. It's called Real Women Have Curves. Again, had no idea that he even knew I was an actress. And his mentee said to him, you come here and you talk to me about what I need to do to get into college, and you don't understand that I walked through my own home, the door through my own home, and my parents don't understand why this matters so much to me. And so he bought the DVD of Real Women, took it to her parents. They watched the movie, they talked about the movie, and then ultimately they supported her decision to go to college.
Wow.
And, you know, at this point I'm sobbing. And, you know, and he looks at me and he says, you know, I tell you this because this movie you did, this character you played, gave her something to believe in and gave her a representation and a reflection of her own life. And it helped her parents see something that they had never seen. And it changed the course of her life. He just gave me the permission to be all of the things that I am.
I wish I had this America when I was 19 years old. This is what I would have needed.